What's going on, 49er faith, 49er fan, 49er gang? This is your boy, Niner Gang Podcast, back in the building with another video. Not gonna be a happy video, man. This was an atrocity in that of itself. What's going on, Throwback? I don't know what the fuck that was. Now I don't know what the fuck happened or what our offense was thinking, but that definitely wasn't 49er football. And we'll get into why it wasn't 49er football and all of the things that happened, but it's just really weird to me how we go to Atlanta and they basically low-key stole our game plan. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everyone there watching and appreciate anybody that comes in and tunes in. It just definitely is really weird. It just here's the thing. I am really confused on what we're doing and why we're doing it. So let's go over the game because I watched it in replay in total and I saw everything that I could see. And I'm just going to go over it kind of really quickly, rapid fire. We'll talk about some of the things that happened, go over a few things. So we start off, Falcons get the ball. George Odom gets beat for the first TD for the Falcons by Michael Pruitt, who just got called up from the damn practice squad. First time all season we've allowed a TD in the first half on defense. So we definitely hadn't done that all season. So, we expect a lot from our defense, and, we also expect our offense to go ahead and provide it. So when I'm reading these plays, these are all offensive snaps. I may sprinkle in a couple of different things here and there, but mainly it's going to be offense. So the 49ers first offensive drive. First play was a toss to Jeff Wilson Jr. for a few yards. Next play, another toss to Jeff Wilson Jr. for a few yards. Next play, Jimmy had all the time in the world, couldn't hit anyone, incomplete pass to Jennings. We punted. The second drive for Jimmy, Jimmy from the shotgun hits Debo for a nice game. Next play, handoff to Jeff Wilson Jr. from the shotgun, run for about a yard or two. Next play, Jeff Wilson Jr. fumbles. It's picked up by Terrell. He takes it close to the end zone for a TD, purposely fumbles into the end zone, and Jalen Hawkins picks it up. That is a touchdown for the Falcons defense. Looked like Jeff Wilson Jr. was down, but after looking at the replay, the ball was clearly out. Atlanta goes up 14-0. That was the first time we had been down 14-0 in a cool minute. And to top it all off, shout out to my boy Christian. One of the things that happens is when we go down 14-0, we typically lose. And that definitely didn't bode well for us because look what happened. So on the third drive, the first play was a bubble screen to Kittle for a few yards. Next play, Jimmy out of the shotgun, pass to Debo over the middle, who gets some yak in the first down. Next play is Jimmy out of the shotgun, pass to Ayuk, who fumbles. It is recovered by Debo. Next play, run by Jeff Wilson Jr. for a first down. Next play, Ayuk for a first down. Next play, shovel cast to Kittle for a first down. Next play was a run by Jeff Wilson Jr. for 5 yards. Next play, screen pass to Ayuk for the touchdown. We're down 14-7. Great block by Jeff Wilson Jr. on that touchdown pass to Ayuk. Fourth drive, fantastic return by Ray all the way down to our 30-yard line after the forced 3-and-out by the defense. So the first play is – so that was obviously special teams. First play is a quick pass to Kittle for 7 yards. Next play is a pass to Juice, first down. Next play was a run by Tevin Coleman for 1 yard. Next play, pass to Ayuk for the TD. Tie game, 14-14. Fifth drive, pass to Jennings out of the shotgun for a 9-yard gain. Next play, Jimmy's pass was batted down by Grady Jarrett. Next play, Jimmy on the QB sneak for a first down. Next play, Jimmy out of the shotgun to Juice for a first down. Next play, Jimmy was sacked. Ball came out, and we recovered it. Also, a holding penalty on the Falcons gave us a first down. On the next play, Jimmy in the shotgun fires a pass he shouldn't have thrown into triple coverage, which gets intercepted by Isaiah Oliver, and it takes us to the end of the first half. So Charles Hayes third, what's going on? We are not an explosive team, so if we get down, it's going to be hard to come back. Exactly. And this is why I was saying that we just asked Jimmy not to fuck it up. And this is why I was stating, like, we're not going to ask him to come back from being down. It's just not what he does. It's not who he is. So we have to ask Jimmy to do the simplest of things. And when you put him in a situation where he's down, you're forcing him to do shit that he can't do. And that's basically what happened today. So the second half starts. We get the ball. 6th drive. First play, incomplete to Ayuk. Ball was thrown to the ground, low to the ground. I have no idea where the fuck Jimmy was throwing. Next play, we never see Jimmy go deep to Ray McLeod. Actually, it was a perfect pass. He just drops it. If he catches it, that's a big game and a momentum shift in our favor. Next play, Jimmy from the shotgun, pass to Juice on we punt on 4th down. 7th drive. First play, toss to Debo for a few yards. Next play, toss to Juice for a pass to Juice for a first down. Next play, run by Debo for a 5-yard gain. Next play, perfect pass from Jimmy to Charlie Warner, who just drops the ball, which is pretty pathetic. I have no idea why Charlie Warner was running that route and not George Kittle. Just absolutely didn't make any fucking sense. Next play, Jimmy shotgun pass short to Jeff Wilson Jr. well behind him. 4th down. We got a punt again. 8th drive. First play, pass to Debo for 6 yards. Second play, pass to Ayuk for the first down. Next play, Tevin Coleman runs for a 4-yard gain. Next play, Ayuk short for the first down. Next play, defense jumps off sides. We get a first down. Next play, the beginning of the 4th quarter, a deep shot to Ayuk. But Jimmy fucked this up by not leading his receiver and putting the ball in front of him. Instead, Ayuk has to slow down, come to the ball, and it allows the DB to make a play on it. Next play, Jimmy with the hospital ball to Debo gets tipped and intercepted by Hawkins. So that interception right there, what's going on, Val? It was a tip drill, but at the end of the day, why would you throw the ball that high? If you hit Debo right in the breadbasket or you hit him in stride, he can continue to make a play on it. So those are some of the things that we consistently see from Jimmy Garoppolo. And it's nothing like, it's not like we haven't seen it before and we unfortunately have to live with it. On the 9th drive, first play, Jimmy to Kittle for a 9-yard gain. Next play, Jeff Wilson Jr. first down. Next play, Jimmy to Kittle for a few yards. But our good old center who fucked us toward the end of this game royally, Jake Brendel, ineligible player downfield, negates the progress. So we go back. Next play, Jimmy to Ayuk for 13 yards. Next play, Jimmy to Debo for 1 yard. Next play, Jimmy QB sneak to get the first down. The next play, Jimmy gets out of the pocket, hits Ayuk on a nice deep pass to the sidelines, but another penalty on Brendel negates the game. Holding. Next play, Jimmy runs for a few yards. Next play, Jimmy to Debo for a first down. The next play, Jimmy attempted to pass to Ayuk, but once again didn't see the linebacker. Pass was low anyway. The linebacker just knocks it down. Almost had a pick, by the way. Next play, run for no gain by Tevin Coleman. Next play, pass to Ayuk on the ground, first down. Next play, another penalty on Brendel for a snap infraction that puts us to 1st and 15. Next play is a quick pass to Debo. Next play, a quick pass to Kittle for the first down. Next play, Jimmy to Jawan Jennings for 9 yards. Next play, Jimmy overthrows Kittle. If he just puts the ball on him properly, it's a touchdown, and that's what's pathetic about it. So it just didn't make any sense that George Kittle was wide open for a TD, man, and you overthrew him. So that I don't understand what he was trying. I know he pointed to the corner, but the issue is you can't point to the corner and still have him wide open and just not loft the ball enough for him to catch it. Kittle actually usually has great hands. And in this game, he actually did fairly well when it comes down to it. Kittle was targeted 10 times and caught the ball 8 times. I mean, you can't get better than that. So the next play is a toss to Tevin Coleman, who cuts inside, tries to get the first down. He should have just ran outside. He had the leverage and would have beaten the DB to the corner for the first down. What was weird about that play was Daniel Brunskill was pulling to try to block. He gave Tevin Coleman enough time to just keep running to the outside. It's only a fucking yard. You get that. There's the first down. Drive continues. We have another chance to score. But what does Tevin Coleman do? Try to cut it back inside. For what reason, I have no idea. And he gets stuffed. So the next play is 4th and 1. Jimmy threw the ball at the ground towards Debo. Turnover on downs. So the defense comes out again and stops the Falcons. We have another drive, but this drive is pretty much all for naught. We're still down 2 scores, and we're not going to win this game. So Jimmy is a shotgun pass to Kittle for 6 yards. Next play, Kittle for a first down. Next play, Jimmy to Debo for a first down. And next play, Kittle for a first down, and he ends the game. So I'm just going to take a look at a couple of the comments here. What's going on, Terra Dome? He was all right, but it's the fact that we can't really do much with him, man. We already know this. Jimmy ain't pulling no comebacks. Fact that Jimmy Garoppolo hasn't improved in 9 years should be concerning. He's the same quarterback that took the field during Tom Brady's suspension. Allen, Mahomes, Lamar, Herbert were all worse. CJ Gray says you can't turn it over, can't drop passes, and we need a new fucking center. I agree. Terradome, Brendel, grade F. Completely agree with you. Do you think the Niners should make some trades? No, it's not going to make a difference. It's not going to do anything for them. I mean, the defense is still playing good enough for us to win games. It's the unfortunate situation is the offense that's trash. Like they're inconsistent. And whether it be Jimmy Garoppolo, whether it be people dropping passes, it's just the offense is just not clicking the way it's supposed to. Charles Hayes says, Kyle, where was the urgency? When we were down 14, took 10 minutes to get 30 damn yards. Yeah, we're going to get to that, definitely so. Throwback says the 49ers are now 9-14 when Jimmy throws more than they run. Still 23-1 when they run more than they pass. We're getting to that too. Yep. Got to get 36 inches. The Niners are depleted with injuries. Should they make some trades or sign some free agents? They don't have any money to sign any free agents because they paid Jimmy Garoppolo. And with all of the time that he's playing and all of the things that he's doing, he's going to meet all his incentives. So we don't really have a lot of money to really sign any free agents. To be honest with you, the only person I can see us possibly bringing in that may make a slight difference is CMC. But then again, he would still have to learn the offense and understand what's going on before we could actually put him out there. But with the way Kyle uses these running backs, I doubt it would make a fucking difference because he seems to only trust Debo, Jeff Wilson Jr. And it was weird how he brought Tevin Coleman in off the fucking couch. But this game, Tevin Coleman was all but non-existent. Like, I don't know. I don't know why we didn't run. I don't know what the fuck was going on, but none of this just made sense. CJ Gray says, like we started on our 1 and Brendel committed 3. Yep. Yep. There it is. This loss is partially on Jimmy. Yes, I have to give him blame for some of this. I'm not going to absolve him of any loss. He says Brendel was never the answer at center. People don't listen, and the team likes him, and Kyle wants to give him a chance. I like Brendel in the beginning, but I like Brendel with Trey Lance, not Brendel with Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, if this is just the way Brendel plays, then we don't need him at all. We need to draft a fucking center. And definitely don't put Daniel Brunskill at center because that's definitely not helping shit. That's only going to make it worse. The worst game, yeah, Brendel, yeah. So let's look at this game as a whole. We all didn't expect to lose this game, right? But here's the problem. We didn't show up on offense. One of the key elements to our wins is to keep Jimmy under 30 passes. We threw 41 times and ran only 16 times. Very lopsided stats for us as a team. We are typically more run-heavy rather than being pass-heavy. This game, I don't know what Kyle is doing. Kyle was doing or even thinking. The defense can only hold up but so long. They gave us every chance with injury upon injury, on their side of the ball to get back in the game. The offense just never delivered. And technically, the defense only gave up 21 points. Jeff Wilson Jr. is responsible for the other 7 due to his fumble. I stated this before the game. We needed to put a spy on Mariota so he didn't run all over us, and we didn't, and he made us pay. Mariota had 6 carries for 50 yards rushing and a TD. He didn't even have an incompletion in this game until the 4th fucking quarter. The Falcons ran the ball 40 times and threw 14. Sounds like something we should have done. The Falcons had a combined 168 yards rushing. We had 50. We had a healthy TDP, Mason, Jeff Wilson Jr., and Coleman, and yet Debo is still being used in the backfield. It makes no sense. Why on earth is Kyle so opposed to using the running backs he has at his disposal? Does he not trust anyone? Does he not trust anyone else? Even Tevin Coleman didn't get any love for this game. It makes no sense at all. In the receiving game, Ayuk had a great game, 2 TDs and 83 yards. Jimmy at his post-game pressure took some kind of blame, which makes me somewhat happy. We didn't score in the second half at all, which was pathetic. After the Falcons got to 28, the defense shut them down. The Falcons were better on third down. They were 9 of 14, and we were 3 of 8. So from 8 minutes and 40 seconds left in the second quarter, the defense shut the Falcons down, and our offense couldn't provide any points. So for 21 minutes, we couldn't put up any points. That is pathetic. Like, you got to think about that. 21 minutes, and we didn't do shit. Like, we had the balls on several occasions after that, and we didn't put any points up. This the one thing I will say is, man, for all the injuries that this defense has to endure, and they still go out there and shut people down, and the offense gives them nothing in return, I'm sorry, I'd be pissed, man. Like, it just makes no sense how you just can't get going. We were playing the Falcons, one of the worst defenses in the NFL, and we couldn't do shit. Like, I don't understand it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it, man. You know what I'm saying? Throwback says I'm tired of the inconsistencies in Kyle's offense. You know, come on, he's the coach. Yes, he has to take the blame for that. You know, Throwback also says that Chris Jones is going to demolish Jake Brendel. I fully believe you. Jimmy does not have that arm to be a comeback QB. That is true. Womack did not play well. You know what I'm saying? We never scored in the second half. Bears, Rams, and Falcons and Broncos. Yes, that is not a good trend, man. We got to be able to score. And Terradone says, objectively, Jimmy showed up for him. Brendel took boneheaded pills, no elaborate blocking schemes, whams, counters, traps, no Jordan Mason, drops, big drops. Like, yeah. And here's the thing. This is what I will say for Jimmy. Jimmy looked pretty good in the first half. Then he showed up to be who he really was in the second half. Did he take some kind of blame after the game? Yes, I was astonished by that much, because Jimmy and taking, credit for fucking shit up doesn't make sense. Were there some big drops? The only 2 drops that I saw, honestly, that were on the receivers was Warner and Ray Ray. Ray Ray had the perfect pass thrown to him by Garoppolo. He should have caught that. Charlie Warner, you've got to catch that ball, man. Like, Jimmy can't put the ball in a better spot on those 2 throws. Like, there's nothing else you can ask the man to do. He did it right there, man. 49ers Throwback says exactly 100% Deion. It's embarrassing. Andy Reid and the Bucks, those good teams don't. Wait, he said those good teams don't to the Falcons, but Kyle did. So, I mean, basically he's just saying, like, those teams are better. How do you have Kittle, Debo, Ayuk, Juice, and it's hard to score points? I mean, you have more than enough. And yes, CJ Gray, I was cussing too, man. I was cussing too. And you have more than enough at your disposal to win these games, bro. Like, It was pathetic how we couldn't do anything, man. So we had 10 drives, scored twice. 10 drives, and we scored 2 times. We didn't even kick any field goals, people. We had 10 drives, and we scored twice. We scored 14 fucking points. That's pathetic. On 10 drives, we didn't even get in the field goal position. That's horrible. We played one of the worst defenses in the league. Outside of Grady Jarrett and Casey Hayward and AJ Terrell, who AJ Terrell and Casey Hayward wound up going out of this game. So how the fuck couldn't we take advantage of that? Like, this makes no sense. I'm sorry. Absolutely makes no sense. So, we had 10 drives, scored twice, both in the first half. And in the second half, we disappeared. The second to last drive in the fourth quarter lasted 8 minutes and 8 seconds. We took our time when we were down 2 scores. I don't know what Kyle and the offense was thinking, but we had no urgency to get back into this game. This is what I was talking about with Kyle, not having that drive to win. We had every opportunity to come back and did nothing. Why are we taking our time in the fourth quarter when we're down 2 scores? We are wasting the talent that is on this defense. We are wasting the talent that this defense provides. Honestly, I feel bad for them. Special teams played better today. Ray had a big return. Robbie Gould didn't have to tackle anyone. Just when I was nice to Jimmy, he starts fucking up. And all we ask is that he not fuck this up. Interceptions were on him. Bad balls thrown in the worst way. With the injuries piled up in this game, along with with all we currently have, Kansas City is going to kill us next week. I feel bad for the content creators that went to this game. Nitty Gritty Niners, Real Talk Niner Talk, John Chapman and the Gold Rush podcast. It was a game no one would like to have spent their money on at all. We clean our wounds and get ready for next week, and we pray for a miracle, because that's what the fuck we gonna need to be able to have any hope against Kansas City. Really quick, man, we're gonna pause here real quick and pay some bills. Let my man Zach tell you about mybookie.ag.
What's going on, guys? Zach here from 49ers Hive, and I just wanted to take a second to thank today's sponsor, MyBookie. You know football, and you pick winners every single weekend, so why not get paid for them at MyBookie? You could bet single game spreads, money lines, or parlay multiple together to increase your payouts. The feeling on Sunday when a 3, 4, 5, 6 game parlay hits is unmatched. There are low contest entry fees and over $500,000 to be won. So make it so you don't have to be a pro gambler to have some fun. Getting started is super simple. All you got to do is go to mybookie.ag and use our promo code HIVE, as in 49ers Hive, on your first deposit to secure a double deposit bonus. You deposit $50, they'll match you $50. You deposit $100, they'll match you $100, all the way up to $1,000. Take advantage of our double deposit bonus. It's right here on the screen. mybookie.ag, promo code HIVE, as in 49ers Hive. Take advantage now, guys, and make this your winning season exclusively at MyBookie.
Thank you, Zach, for that promo there for MyBookie, man. This game, man, was just an atrocity to watch. I definitely didn't anticipate seeing us get our ass handed to us this way by the fucking Falcons of all teams. To be honest with you, man, the pass game is just trash. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, you can't just blame Jimmy. And I'm not just blaming him. What was weird to me was the number one thing that I'm really baffled at is, why is Kyle so pass happy with Jimmy Garoppolo? And why are you taking shots down the field with Jimmy Garoppolo? He doesn't throw the ball deep. Yes, he had a couple of passes today that were nice, but this is not what he does. And you're asking him to be something he's not. All of that bullshit talk that Jimmy Garoppolo had about being unleashed and being handcuffed and all this other shit, bro, we don't unleash and handcuff you because there's nothing to unleash your handcuff. I'm not pinning this loss solely on him. I'm going to pin this more on Kyle. At the end of the day, we never should have been running the ball 41 throwing the ball 41 fucking times and running the ball only 16 times. That is not what we do. That is not 49er football. And here's the thing. When Kyle typically has a day where a running back just isn't cutting it, he cycles through the backs to see who has the hot hand, and he typically will stick with them, and let them play the game and run it out. Case in point, a couple years ago in 2019, when we were playing the Vikings, Raheem Mostert wasn't really having a very good game. Tevin Coleman was. So Tevin Coleman got the rock. And he stayed in there. And he was the one who helped us win that game against the Minnesota Vikings. He had the hot hand. And then you flip to the Packers game. Raheem came out on fire. You didn't see no Tevin Coleman because Raheem ran for over 200 yards and 4 fucking touchdowns. He ran us all the way into the damn Super Bowl in that NFC Championship game. So it doesn't make sense why Shanahan doesn't want to give any of these other running backs any type of hope. TDP was in there as a fucking fullback. You drafted this guy and kicked Trey Sermon to the curb. Why is he being a fullback? Like, what are you doing? Like, this to me was really weird on why Kyle just conceded toward the end of the game. Think about that. 8 minutes and 8 seconds on one drive in the fourth quarter when you down 2 scores. Why are you running the clock out? Why are you walking down the field slowly, taking your time? Why isn't your quarterback saying, fuck this, we need to win this damn game. We need to get down this field ASAP. Why is your center having the dumbest penalties of all time at the worst time? Like, these are things that screw up and wind up making us lose games. So this is honestly on Kyle. I don't understand what he was thinking and why he got lackadaisical in the fourth quarter and thought we should walk down the fucking field as slow as we possibly can. You have to have a sense of urgency when you want to win games. This is exactly what I was saying. So for all those people out there who love Kyle and think he's just above reproach, and he doesn't need to be held accountable, y'all can kiss my ass. Kyle needs to be held accountable at all fucking times. He's the head coach. You have to hold him accountable. Who the fuck else are you going to hold accountable? We can hold Jimmy G accountable all we want, but we all know who the fuck he is and what the fuck he does. So we're not going to sit here and beat a dead horse. It doesn't make sense to. Jimmy threw 2 touchdowns and he threw 2 interceptions. So for every touchdown, he threw a pick. And the interceptions were his fault completely. You don't throw in the triple coverage and you don't throw a hospital ball to Debo so it gets tipped and then wind up getting picked off. Like, that's the stupid shit that he does. But we know this is going to happen. We anticipate this. It's unfortunate that we do. But we do. The defense, I'm guaranteeing you, man, all the injuries, everything that's happening, I know they are so tired of giving us every chance to get in the game. We had 22 fucking minutes to get back in this game and score twice, and we did nothing. Nothing at all. We didn't give that defense any help, and they did everything they could for us, man. Every fucking thing, and this is just messed up. And CJ Gray saying that drive lasted long because of the penalties and Coleman. It did last long, but at the end of the day, either way, you still have to try to push the ball down the field. Those penalties only happen, 2-3 times? At the end, pretty much after that, after you get the penalty called, you still have to be in a hurry up. You let them call the penalty, boom, go. Keep it pushing. David McNew says Shanahan panicked and started throwing the ball when we had over 3 quarters left. Only had 16 carries and 40. Yeah, it's not what we do. Exactly. Terradone says, respect Dean Pease. Dean Pease was out there. His defense was stellar. And he was doing this with nobodies. Name somebody on that defense right now outside of Grady Jarrett that was in the game that had a real impact. Name them. I challenge anyone to. I saw ATL flying around. Mariota needs to be rushed with 3 and spied with 4. I said that's what I said in these pregame shows, man. I say it all the time. If I picked the 49ers on my bookie, I wouldn't have won jack shit this week. Those are facts, man. They played like ass this week. The pass game is where we had the advantage, but when you drop passes and commit penalties, negating other big plays, it is just bad. We didn't have an advantage in the pass game. I don't know what you was watching, CJ, but we definitely had no damn pass game. That, bro, we Jimmy Garoppolo, 29 of 41 for 296 yards, 2 TDs, and 2 sacks. I'm sorry, we didn't have an edge in the pass game. We literally did not. Yes, Mariota only threw for 129 yards, but he threw for 2 touchdowns and he ran for 1. So he accounted for 21 points out of that 28 points that they had. You know what I'm saying? The other 7 came from the defense. So he did the most minimalistic things. But the thing was, we did not spy him, and that's what we should have done. And yeah, I would have been pissed off had I paid that. You got to think about it. I'm in Arizona. I got to take a flight to the ATL, pay for a hotel, post up, then go to the game, watch them get their ass handed to them, go back to the hotel, and catch a flight another 4 hours across. Nah, I wouldn't have done that. I'm good. I'm not doing that. That's a waste of my motherfucking time. You know what I'm saying? To watch them go out there and get their ass handed to them and watch my coach concede in the fourth quarter and just let everything happen and just not give a fuck. Like, no, I'm sorry. And it just, CJ says, I wish we would run more, though, but when Wilson fumbles it spooked Kyle. It did, but at the end of the day, if Wilson fumbled the ball, you know what you do? You tell Jeff, sit your punk ass down, and you put Tevin Coleman in the game. Tevin Coleman is a run and pass threat. Look what he did in Carolina when he came. Carolina had a shitty defense, and so did motherfucking the Atlanta Falcons. Dean Pease obviously didn't see that, and he said, "Fuck that, we're going in, and we're going to do what we do." It just was hard. Sports Live in the ATL says, "Listen, 49ers fans, I've been saying since you got Kyle Shanna Choker from my Falcons that he will never win the 49ers anything. He's a choker. He is arrogant. He doesn't know how to win. Will never run." Well, I think he meant will never win. He says, "I'm also tired of hearing about Bosa and others out. 49ers knew all week they weren't playing. Everyone still picked my Falcons to lose. Falcons just dominated." So what I'll tell you, Sports Live in the ATL is I'm not saying that there is like that's an excuse. I'm saying with all of those guys missing, we still provided the offense with opportunities for us to win. Yes, I picked you guys to lose. In the beginning, before the game even started, on paper, and anybody with a brain in their head didn't see Atlanta winning this fucking game. No commentators, no pundits, nobody on NFL game day. Nobody picked you guys to win. Why? How would you win? It wouldn't make sense. Before the game, yes. And yes, we probably overlooked you guys. We did not pick you to win. I gave y'all a little bit of credit because you guys were in the games that you wound up losing. Your biggest loss was by 5, and that was just the week before. But don't sit up here and try to malign us because we thought you guys fucking sucked ass. You did. I'm sorry. I don't know anybody on your fucking defense. Like Dean Pease, yes, he made do with what he had. You guys won. I give you the credit. But don't try to malign us for thinking that we were going to win ahead of time. At the end of the day, that's the facts. Like, look at everything on paper. You guys weren't slated to win this game. You definitely weren't covering the line in Vegas in the beginning before the game started. Nobody thought y'all was going to win this fucking game. So nobody was making any fucking excuses. I was literally stating that our defense with all the injuries kept giving our offense more and more opportunities to win the game, and we couldn't capitalize on such. But at the end of the day, yeah, man, shit, don't knock us for being confident that we was going to come in and kick your fucking teeth in. Like at the end, I mean, shit, it is what it is, man. You know, in the grand scheme of things, we have beat the Falcons more than you guys have beaten us. And yes, you guys were the victors. Congratulations, you won. But ain't nobody making no fucking excuses. I'm just telling you what it is. So as far as the thing with Kyle Shanahan, I mean, hey, it's hard to dispute the fact of what you just said. The man has been to 2 Super Bowls. You got comfortable against Bill Belichick. He made adjustments in the second half and made your ass pay. You got comfortable against Patrick Mahomes, who was playing comeback kid all fucking playoff season long, and that motherfucker made you pay and wound up winning the Super Bowl. So I can't dispute that at all. But it definitely was, a situation where he didn't get it done. You know what I mean? There are a few names. Okay, so you got A.J. Terrell, Casey Hayward, and Grady Jarrett. I don't know anybody else on your fucking defense. Please don't sit up here and act like here's the thing. You won the game. You did. I concede that. I'm not going to sit up here and say that you didn't. But don't make it seem like y'all about to run out and win the motherfucking Super Bowl with Marcus Mariota. The man threw 13 of 14 passes for 129 yards and 2 TDs. Bring your ass up against Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes with that bullshit, you will wind up losing. So you won. Congratulations. I get it. But don't sit up here, man, and try to make yourself seem like your team is something that it's not. I do not see y'all actually possibly even winning that division. Honestly, beat the Bucs. When you beat the Bucs and you can capture that division, come talk to me. But don't sit up here, man, and make it seem like, y'all just the greatest team alive. Our defense only technically gave up 21 points. So y'all, if you take away that defensive touchdown y'all had, y'all beat us by 7. Like, I get it. You won, but y'all ain't going nowhere. I'm not saying that we are, but I'm not about to give y'all credit like y'all about to go out there and fucking win the Super Bowl, because I definitely doubt that. I don't see the Falcons doing that for a while. Y'all have to build your offense and build your defense. Drake London looked all right. You know what I'm saying? Olamide Zaccheaus was all but non-existent and for maybe a few catches. Like, that's all I'm saying, man. It just kills me. He says, a Falcons fan, I saw this for years. Kyle will never run the ball when it matters. He loves to throw all the time. He does, and I don't understand why the fuck he loves to throw, because at the end of the day, you ain't got a quarterback who does what he needs to do to be able to make sure that he can throw that right. He says, CJ Gray says, I'm not a Jimmy supporter, but he isn't the reason for losing. Overall, he certainly helped. I'll say this to you, CJ. He looked great in the first half, and he looked like ass in the second half. So if you can't complete the passes, you can't do the things that you need to do. And it's not like Jimmy didn't have any time in the pocket. The man didn't get sacked. Mariota was sacked twice. Jimmy did not get sacked. He had all the time he needed in the world to be in the second half to be able to make some plays and do some things. I'm sorry. It's on him. When Jimmy starts to bounce in the pocket and he starts patting the ball, he doesn't know where to throw it. And those are some of the things that are right there, man. I'm sorry. Like that, those are facts. I'm not saying this is all on him, but that second half, bro, he's the quarterback. You got to make plays. You have to make plays. Kyle, you got to have a better game plan, because making Jimmy Garoppolo throw the ball 41 times definitely doesn't help shit. He says, how does losing games but I'm assuming he means by less than 7 points and winning some tough games make us ask? I didn't think we would win, but media, fans, etc. said we would lose. But after its injuries, please. So I don't understand what that last part meant. Like, you need to be a little more elaborate with what you was talking about, because I'm completely confused with that. As far as the other parts, nobody thought you was gonna win. You didn't even think you was gonna win. You just admitted that. So you won, but that doesn't, I'm just saying that you guys are not going out there and winning the Super Bowl. I just don't see it. I'm sorry. If I see anybody winning the Super Bowl right now, it's most likely either the Bills or the fucking Kansas City Chiefs. And the only team in the NFC right now that looks formidable that's going anywhere is the undefeated Philadelphia fucking Eagles. So when you start doing things like the Eagles and go on a winning streak and everything like that, I give you a little more respect. But I'm sorry. Your team is not built to have a long run in the playoffs and go to a Super Bowl. Our team in the beginning of the season was built for such, but as usual, number one thing with Kyle, we're always top 10 in injuries, so this shit happens every fucking year, man. So he don't adjust, he doesn't make adjustments, and it sucks that he does that shit, because it kicks us square in the ass, man, and we never do anything. CJ Gray says we have fewer possessions because of the defensive losses. Time of possession by 7 minutes. The injuries are not the reason for losing, but it contributed. Exactly. The reason for losing is the offense was completely inept. Basically, in the second half, it just was non-existent. Also, the Falcons have beaten the 49ers 4 straight times in Atlanta. You beat you in your house a few years ago. You guys owned us in the 80s and 90s, but not in the 2000s. And now we beat you more often. Facts. Can't dispute that. Can't dispute that at all. I know you never said Super Bowl or playoffs, but at the end of the day, that's what every team's goal is supposed to be. No matter how bad you are or how good you are, your goal is to win the Super Bowl every fucking year. We all know the Detroit Lions ain't winning the Super Bowl, but for damn sure, when they start the season 0-0, they anticipate that they're going to start winning fucking games. And they're going to wind up possibly trying to go to a Super Bowl. That's what every franchise has to set out to do every single year, no matter how good or bad you are. You must set out for that because that is your only goal in the NFL, period. In any sport, your only goal is to go out there and win the chip. Doesn't matter what you're doing. I don't give a fuck whether you're playing fucking croquet, backgammon, football, basketball, baseball, hockey, whatever the fuck you're doing. Your goal as a team is to win the fucking championship. Anybody's goal. So I'm just saying like that. That's basically what it is. Throwback says we are losing to the Chiefs next week. Kyle can't beat the Chiefs. He can't beat a good team. Jimmy is 0-3 against the Chiefs in his career. That sucks ass too. Last time I checked 2 years ago, we lost to the Chiefs by 3 points. You still lost. It's an L. I don't give a fuck whether you lose by 1 or you lose by 50. A loss is a loss. Same way with a win. You win by 1 or you win by 50. A win is a win. You can only play who's on your schedule. You can only play who's in front of you. I don't knock people for being able to beat somebody when injuries occur or anything like that. That ain't got nothing to do with the other team. Like, hey, you can only play who actually gets on the field, man. And to be honest with you, when it comes to it, Sports Live in the ATL, I'll say this. We got you when it mattered. In the playoffs, you can't see us. Because last time you saw us in the playoffs, you know what happened. But he says, I will come talk to you anytime you want. You clearly have never seen my channel. I never said my team is a playoff team or Super Bowl team. You said it. I'm a real Falcons fan. I am more than happy to speak with anybody who is a Falcons fan. I'm always objective. I only said, I didn't block you. I didn't block you. Your stuff is still coming in. I don't know who blocked. I didn't block you. You still commenting. So I don't know who said that. If someone said to block you, then someone else said that in the comments. You still commenting right now. I never blocked you. So I don't know where you got that from. Maybe somebody in the comments may have said that, but I never told you I was blocking you at all, man. So I guess that's basically what it was. Incorrect value, not a Super Bowl team, so that comment makes no sense. Falcons don't say we must beat the 49ers to make our season. He says, yeah, I can. In 1998 divisional playoffs, we beat you. Yes, 2012, but don't act like we don't beat you when it mattered. Yeah, but that was 98, and this is 2012 that you just talked about. So you said in the 2000s not too long ago in your other comments that we don't that you own us. Well, 2012 in the playoffs, LeVar Bowman stole your dreams. That's a fact. That's all it is. Oh, if people in the chat are saying to block you, bro, that's just them being fans, man. I'm not gonna tell them to, chill out on that. That it is what it is. That's basically the situation. So I'm always game for anybody coming and hanging out on my streams. I'm never, not saying that debates aren't good. I like to debate with people. Honestly, I like to debate with, other teams' fans strictly because it's always good to have that before the game. So if anything, man, you know what? I'll do you a solid right now, man. I will literally, give me just a second here. Hold up. Got this whole joint here. I'm gonna copy that, and I'm gonna put this in here for you, bro. Give me just a sec. Hold on 1 second. Give me just a sec, man. I'll put this in here for you, man. I will gladly invite you on if you have a chance to come right now. We can talk. We can debate. I'm all up for that, man. I'm a cool dude, you know. I always have been. I ain't never told nobody they can't come on and holler at your boy. People will do that. You know what I'm saying? Some people will. They'll try to tell you that, you know, you can't come on and you can't talk and none of that. I gladly invite anybody to come on and hang out with me. Hold on 1 second. There it is right there, man. Copy that link. Go ahead and hit the button. I'm more than game. If you want to come on and have a little bit of a debate, I'm more than welcome to do so, bro. I don't run from debates with people from other teams. All I basically am saying is pretty much you beat us with a bunch of nobodies. You did. You know. He said, I tried to join a panel, just check my videos. I talk about the game. I actually streamed the game. Oh, okay. That's cool. And I'm all for other content creators, and I'm all for clicking with other content creators, man. Like I really I'll have nothing against nobody as far as other fans are. I'm just as confident in my team as you will be confident in yours. I will never say that my team is gonna suck or their ass, but I am a realistic fan, and if you check me out, Sports Live in the ATL, you will see I am not one of those people who's delusional. Like, I'm not like some of these delusional ass Cowboy fans that think we going to the Super Bowl every motherfucking year. We don't do that. We don't. We're not going to the Super Bowl every year. No team is going to the Super Bowl every year. Look at the Lamb Chops. They fucking suck ass. They suck ass. Okay? And we beat the brakes off their ass. We do that all the time. Yeah, of course, man. Anytime down the road, I mean, if we play again, or even if you're just looking to do a crossover show, whatever the case may be, I'm all good. I'm open to it. I'm not that type of guy. I don't, badger people and then be like, nah, you can't come on I don't do any of that. Everyone here in this chat will tell you, I always invite anybody on. You want to come through and hang out with your boy, by all means, you do so. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. And he said, dude, you are like many Falcons fans don't like me. No, but see, that right there. You're not bashing the team. You're telling them the truth, and they don't like it. Let me tell you something, man. I've had this channel for several years, man, and there have been content creators who have come in after me and well before me, and they're doing a lot bigger numbers than me. And I'll tell you right now, and it really blows my mind because it always happens, but I don't trip out. I have 410 subscribers. I know people who started well after me that are already at 4K. And the reason why is because of the type of dude I am. I don't ride Kyle Shanahan's dick. I don't ride Jimmy Garoppolo's dick. I don't ride nobody's dick. I'm married. I got a wife. I got a wife and kids, man. I love women. But I'm not going to sit up here and praise the team when they do stupid shit. So if you're like that, then we're one and the same. And yes, there are Falcons fans that may not like you, and there are 49er fans that can't stand me because they love Jimmy Garoppolo. He's a godsend. Why are you always blaming him? He doesn't do anything. We got people out there that love Kyle Shanahan, and I tell people all the time, Kyle Shanahan be bullshit too. Don't absolve that motherfucker of no responsibility. He needs to be held accountable, and that's the problem. People don't like when you hold everyone accountable for things that are happening. So that's basically what it is, man. He says if other Falcons content creators did shows with me, I would have more than 3.5 thousand subs. I just don't try to talk. ESPN, I hate Rise Up. It's annoying. I get you, man. Sometimes we all have like little monikers that come around and we're like, what the fuck is that about? Sometimes it don't make sense to us. Sometimes we don't like things, but it's nice, man. Hey, if you're at 3.5 thousand subscribers, congratulations, bro, on all of your growth. I wish you nothing but the best, and I wish you more continued growth. I hope that you do everything that you need to do, man. And we are one and the same, bro. I'll tell you right now. He said most don't think their team can do any wrong. Screw that. I agree with you 120%. I'll tell you right now, man. There's a dude in one of the chats that I'm in. He literally swears up and down that Kyle can do no wrong. He thinks that Kyle is the greatest thing since sliced fucking bread. And he's not. Kyle screws up. You know Kyle is under 500 as a head coach. Sean McVay isn't. Sean McVay also has a Super Bowl ring, too. Just saying, these are facts. Kyle has whooped Sean McVay's ass at every turn. You know when he couldn't beat Sean McVay? NFC Championship game. And you know why? Because we have an inept quarterback that seems to never go away. These are things that happen, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, he said Samuel Jackson had hair when Rise Up started, and now he's bald and getting senile. He said, I've had Falcons fans block me on Twitter and YouTube for being me. I'm 100% sure there are 49er fans that block me and don't like me. And I get it, man. I get it, and here's my thing. I have a fellow 49er fan. I'm not going to put no names out there because I'm not that guy. But this person believes that Kyle Shanahan actually likes Trey Lance. I don't believe that. I believe he hated the fact that he had to choose Trey Lance. I say this, and I've said it before, and I'll continue to maintain this. Kyle likes a white, prototypical, stand-in-the-pocket quarterback that has limited mobility. He wants a guy who can move in the pocket enough not to get sacked, but he doesn't need a runner. He just wants somebody to stand in the pocket and deliver the ball and execute his offense the way that he calls it. That is the only thing he wants. So what happened last time Kyle had a black quarterback? RG3. Ran him into the ground, fucked his leg up, destroyed his whole career. Look at what he just did to Trey Lance. Broke his ankle. What's Trey Lance doing? Another season of no football, no reps, no chance to get better. But, we're going to blame Trey Lance because he ran. Really? Because it was weird how we ran the ball. It was so lopsided. We ran the ball like nobody's business when Trey Lance was in. But the minute Trey Lance gets injured and Jimmy Garoppolo comes in, we start throwing the ball again. We go back to the old well of the same bullshit that we've been running for all the time that Jimmy's been here. What a fucking coincidence. So I feel you, man. People do not fuck with me based on how I feel about Kyle. And it is what it is, bro. Like, my numbers will grow eventually. People will start messing with me. And even if they don't, I do this for myself, and I do it because it's a passion of mine. And I like to speak the truth of things. I feel like people give Kyle a pass for everything. And there's a lot of people out there that give Jimmy a pass for everything. It was really pathetic to watch Trey Lance go out there and play and have jackass fans in the stands with signs saying, bring back Jimmy. We want Jimmy. This is what you wanted? A 3-3 start? Last year we started 3-5. Just saying. These are facts. This is the stuff that I deal with in my own fan base, and I get you, man. And it's not to say that I don't vibe with my own fan base, because I do, but I'm a realistic person. And when people need to be held accountable, I will do so. I will not allow people to just get away with anything because they're the head coach, or because they're this person, or because they're that person. I say all the time that Kyle doesn't have killer instinct. He doesn't. Who gets comfortable against Patrick Mahomes when you watch the man in the playoffs become comeback kid all that time? And the man had the nerve to go to the podium and say, when you were up 20-10 at halftime, why didn't you try to go for a field goal or anything? Well, we had a big lead and I was comfortable. You got comfortable against Patrick Mahomes, who had to come back in every playoff game he played that year, and he did so. And he won those games. So explain to me why you were comfortable again? You didn't pay attention to the startling statistic that that's what the fuck this kid does? I'm just saying, these are things that people don't get. And some people think that he is a godsend and he can do no wrong. And it just drives me insane when people do that. Jimmy Garoppolo is a real subpar quarterback. He's all right. He has his good days. He has his bad days. Today, his second half was horrible. I'm sorry. It was. He is the engine in this offense. And if he is out there putting around and backfiring and shit, if your catalytic converter went out, Jimmy, you should have said something, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's just these are things that happen, man. So, he said, like I said, Kyle can't win even when it matters. Look at a few years ago versus my Falcons, NSF. He had a double-digit lead and lost to us. Why? He keeps throwing the ball. Yeah, there are certain things you can do that just would make sense. Well, that is, Matt Ryan. He just got sacked to hell. Yep, facts. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you for sharing my stream. Thank you very much. Charles Hayes says, how does Dable have Daniel Jones at QB, Saquon, who is a beast, but is the only person, and Richie James at wide receiver and a defense that isn't elite, and got his team at 5-1, and we went 3-3 with what we got. Those are facts, bro. That's real, man. It really is crazy insane. Bandit 49ers look like they were running out the clock. Exactly. How you running out the clock down 14 points? Like, that don't make sense. I'm sorry. You had an 8-minute and 8-second drive. And yes, there were a couple of penalties in there, but I'm telling you right now, those penalties didn't put time on the clock. If anything, the penalties stopped the clock. So that would allow you to therefore start calling plays to push the ball down the field. Now, my thing is, Kyle has never, ever had a situation where he's thrown 41 times and ran 16. That's so off the chain. Like, you've never seen that from him. So this tells you that there's something wrong in that running back room. What, I don't know. And why he doesn't trust anyone, I don't fucking know. But you better make some fucking adjustments, because Kansas City is going to kick our ass if you don't. And I'm going to tell you right now, you better hand the ball to somebody else. If Jeff don't got it, give it to Tevin Coleman. If Tevin Coleman don't got it, give it to TDP. If TDP don't got it, give it to Mason. But you got to find the guy who has the hot hand, ride him, and run that fucking ball down their throat, control the clock, because I'm going to tell you right now, Jake Brendel was fucking up left and right in this game, and that shit killed us in that last series. And it just doesn't make sense, man, how we just wind up not being able to pull it off. It just never made sense, man. Of course, got to run. I'll be watching your content during the season. Good luck with your channel. You keep doing you. Later. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. For real. I will definitely check you out. Sports Live in the ATL. I got you, man. I got you. I'll check you out. Hey, I tell you right now, Bandit MD1, MD11, Christian McCaffrey in this offense would be a destructive beast. He would be a monster, but I don't think they pull the trigger for him. And I think his salary fits into our salary cap. I think he's only getting paid like $1 million to give it structure. But it is what it is, man. Hey, great debate with Sports Live in the ATL. Good dude. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Tough loss, man. Very tough loss. I'm glad I was able to take a breather before I just went on, because y'all would have seen me on a whole nother level had I went on right after the game was over. I know a lot of people had their overreaction shows, but I just didn't want to be that guy and flip the fuck out. But we do got some problems on the horizon, and we better fix them. Otherwise, we're going to suffer in ways you can't imagine. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Y'all stay safe, stay faithful, have a wonderful evening, be blessed, and I'm out this joint. Peace.